How you doing, boys? We're about halfway through the season now. We've had a great time so far. The season's going really well. So as we get into the back half of the season, we're going to start getting into some tournaments, some playoffs, and then eventually, hopefully, we're in the state tournament. And in the back half of the season, we're going to start seeing pitchers that are going to throw a little bit faster than what we've seen maybe earlier in the year. So we really want to concentrate hitting-wise on some of the fundamental things that we've gone over to this point. So I'm gonna go over those, and we're gonna add one more element that I want you guys to think about and play with that I think will help a lot of your guys' swings. So first off, our stance, right? We want to have a balanced stance. Okay, if you don't have a balanced stance, that's when things kind of get a little bit kitty-wampus on you, and you start getting in front of the ball too much, or you stride too late, and you can't get enough movement going through. You get off balanced. A lot of bad things happen if you don't have a balanced stance. So if you're kind of like this, I want you to get wider, okay? Wider than you think you need, okay? That'll help you be able to stay on track with the ball longer and actually drive it better. And also it'll keep you from standing up so much as well, right? Because we don't want to be here and then stand up. Now we hit these big can of corn up in the air that's real easy to catch. So a nice balanced stance, feet outside of your shoulders. Secondly is going to be our hand position. Hand position is the bottom hand will never be below the chest or above the shoulder, okay? If we're somewhere in here, we're in a good hitting position, okay? On top of that, we don't want to be dropping our hands when we start our swing. So some of you that drop your hands, and you guys know who you are, I want you guys to practice with a tee, and I want you guys to sit there and think, keep my hands up, then go. Don't do this and then go, okay? Keep your hands up and go right to the ball. Thirdly is knob to ball, okay? Knob to ball does two things for us. One, it causes us to get the bat on the same path as the ball, so we can hit the ball throughout the strike zone. And we've talked about this before, where if you have a big uppercut, there's only one point where the bat and the ball cross. Or if you swing down on the ball, there's only one point where the bat and the ball cross. But if I swing the knob to the ball, there's a number of points that I can hit the ball because my bat is on the same path as the ball the whole time, okay? So that's one reason we want to swing knob to ball. The second reason we want to think about swinging knob to ball is by doing so, it forces us to turn our top hand up. Whenever you swing, you want to be turning your top hand up. Okay, I don't want my top hand turn like this. I don't want it like this. I just want my top hand facing straight up so I can get on the same path again. Okay? And then lastly is going to be our load and our stride sequence. Okay, there's a couple ways to load. One, you can load when the pitcher starts their windup. So they start their windup, you load. Or you can just start in a load position, where I get my load position right away, and now when he winds up, I'm already there, and now I can look at my stride position. It gives me one less thing to think about if I start in the load. Then the stride. Now we have to remember, which is where we kind of struggle with sometimes, is we stride when the pitcher is actually releasing the ball, not after they released it. So when the pitcher is right here, I'm starting to stride as they come up to the top of their pitch. I'm starting to stride. If I don't do that, I won't be able to catch up to the really quick pitchers, okay? So those are the four fundamental things that we've talked about all year. A good, solid base, a well-balanced base, good hand positioning, bottom hand no lower than the chest, no higher than the shoulder. And then we've talked about swinging knob to ball, right? And then our load and our stride sequence. So the last thing I want to talk about is how do we get our swings even shorter? Because the key to a really good baseball swing is to have a well-balanced, short, and quick swing. Okay, so how do we get a short swing? Because we've talked about this a little bit earlier in the season, where you don't want to be like this because when your bat pointing to the pitcher, because the bat path takes a long time to get there, right? So this is a long swing. I want a swing where it's really short and to the ball. So I have very short distance to go to get to the ball. So how do we improve upon that a little bit more than what we already have this year? One thing I want you guys to kind of work on is, instead of having this elbow up, this back elbow up. Just keep it in a neutral position. Kind of pointed at 45 degrees to the ground, both of them. Both of your elbows pointed 45 degrees to the ground. And just put your bat on your shoulder and kind of be in this relaxed position, okay? Now from there, get in your stance. And now, if you want to, keep the bat on your shoulder or put the bat up in the air if you want, okay? Just don't point it this way, okay? Just whatever feels comfortable here. Now, if you're right here, when I take a step and swing, I'm really short. Because the distance that this elbow has to travel to get to my body is much shorter than up here. If I'm up here, the distance this elbow has to come to get to here is much more than it is from here to here. So it means I'm shorter. So the faster the pitcher, I'm shorter to the ball. Right there versus there. This is a longer swing. I'm already behind the ball here. Where here, I'm right there. Okay? So play with that. I think this will help some of you guys. Some of you guys, you have your back elbow up way high and your hands probably a little too high, and it takes a long time to get it down here. Okay? So there, like I said, just if you can fit like your hand in between into your armpit, if your arms relaxed, that's about the right one, right? If you pinch this arm against the body, some people can do it. Some people think it feels real awkward. To me, it kind of feels awkward. So I kind of like just a little bit of a gap right there where I put my hand in between my arm. You get to here, like I said, you can be up here, but this is a short swing, okay? So it's load, drive, okay? So try that. That will help some of you guys be really short and fast. And then lastly, you'll hear us say, attack the ball, attack the ball. I want you to pull the ball and attack it. The reason we keep on telling you to pull the ball is because we want you to swing aggressively at it, okay? And really go after the ball. Don't wait and then try to fight it the other way. Get after it and try pulling it. If you're late on it, you're still going to hit the ball up the middle. You might even hit it into the gap to right field. But swing aggressively at the ball. Once you guys start getting that down and understand how to swing aggressively at the ball, now we can start talking about other things and how do you wait for the ball to get back and deep in order to drive it to the other way and some of those things. But right now, aggressiveness. Pull the ball. That's all we want you to do. Attack and be aggressive pulling the ball, okay? That's all I got today. But try those things because we have some practices coming up. We have some competition that we should be able to really use some new things with and get better for some of those better teams coming up. So let's take this time to get even better than we are, and we'll see where the rest of the season goes. Have a good one.